What is going on? The live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Right on time. Oh, man. Yeah, everything fell apart today. Really weird. No excuse, just stupid. It's Friday. I don't know. Maybe that's what you do on Friday. Come into work late. It's tough for me sometimes. I'm not even going to try. Just shut up, dummy. The live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast this time around. Brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. How about this bunch, man? Veteran owned. Lady owned. A lady veteran owned. That's right. 51% ownership. Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. Man, my goodness. 616-532-6600. If you need anything done on your vehicle for domestication or European model, they have you covered. You have a guy or a girl. Okay, it's kind of like, when it comes to car repair, it's like, who's the one person that you can trust? That's the one big thing. And if you don't have a person that you trust, or maybe you just haven't worked with anybody, that's tough because you want to find the right one. And what do? You just go to the one nearest your house? Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's what I would do. Unless if you have somebody preaching from the mountaintops about you. Then you go to that one. And I'm telling you, go to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, 616-532-6600, Irvines.com. Go check out the Google reviews. That is Google reviews. Man, I tell you what, the power in the consumer. They can really make or break for the consumer. That really keeps the businesses on their toes. They do not want anything less than 5 stars, okay? So they work very, very hard to achieve that. Are you like me? You look at somebody when you search whatever it is you're searching for, and you see 2 stars and a couple of shitty reviews. You're like, oh, fuck that. I'm not even going near them. I don't always do that, but I do go through it. It does make me pause. Thank you to Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. The kings of DIY awesomeness in the Northland is Baldwin Ace Hardware. As you know, my goodness, a great, great sponsor, as they all are. This is a big weekend for people. They're going to be heading up north here in Michigan. And if you are in the neighborhood of Baldwin, Michigan, on the edge of the Manistee National Forest, do drop by and say hello to Mike and Jennifer Gilmurray. Buy a couple of things. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a pack of gum. Buy it and say hello and say, Eric Zane sent me. They got Dippin' Dots there. Grab some Dippin' Dots on the way out. All right. Thank you to Baldwin Ace Hardware for being on board with this show, which happens on the 4th of September, 2020. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now.
Hey, what's happening? Hey, what's happening?
And now, here's a guy who has never won a congeniality award at any radio station anywhere. I will fight you in the streets. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast with your host, Eric Zane.
Well, thank you very much, John A. Welcome, and thank you for being a big help to this show with your music. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. This is a daily profanity-infused rant covering news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Holy moly. Where we come to you from the Metalworks Body Shop Beer Bunker Studio. That is this room that I am in right now. And a lot to get into today. First of all, let me go over what the hell is happening, what I will be talking about. It's kind of weird because, typically how I do it is I was talking with Jason Mays and Trish from JM Synthetics. But first thing I do is I turn on the Today Show, and whatever they are talking about, that's what I'm not talking about. And that holds true again today. But it's remarkable. It's just been what they're doing is they're talking about the coronavirus, and it's interesting because I guess Labor Day kind of goes hand in hand with Memorial Day. Memorial Day, the unofficial start of the summer. Labor Day, the unofficial end of the summer. So what they're doing is they're going back in time to Memorial Day, when I guess there was that was at a time when everybody got together, and there was supposedly some outbreaks of the Rona after all of the people gathering. And so based on Labor Day matching up the opposite of Memorial Day, end of the summer, start of the summer, that has been the jumping off point in their storytelling of officials are worried we might have another outbreak just like Memorial Day as people travel and gather. Oh, wait a minute. Are you telling me that nobody traveled and gathered on 4th of July and the entire summer, that nobody did anything? So it's just interesting how they're kind of like trying now to cultivate that type of storyline. Believe me, I am not a conspiracy theorist about the virus. I think the virus is very real. As you know, I've been the biggest proponent for things social distancing and mask wearing and just being cognizant and aware of it. But oh God, it's just brutal to hear how it goes and how they position things on the news. And it's like, man, and they do a really good job of trying to make it seem like this is actually a story. Okay, but they're to me, they're just fabricating it and doing it out of thin air because of what happened over Memorial Day, I guess. I mean, I would say there's always a threat of catching this virus. My goodness. Today, though, Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle is a huge hit. Now, this is really remarkable, but if you want to make any money, all you have to do is do something like this. And she is making money hand over fist. And all it is a candle with a label on it. And it's just insane how brilliant this woman is because of this. It's just freaking great. Facebook wants to know how you feel about, I don't know what, advertisements on their platform. Facebook wants to know about how you feel about their privacy policy. No, that's not it either. Facebook wants to know about how you feel about Facebook Marketplace. Has it become just inundated with dealers as opposed to actual people? No, that's not it. Facebook wants to know how you feel about, I don't know, pedophiles asking for pictures of nude kids. Yeah. That's exactly what's happening. Facebook wants to know your opinion on whether or not it's okay if pedophiles ask for pictures of nude kids. When I read that, I was, well, this has got to be just some kind of like fake story, like The Onion or something like that. No, this is actually a thing. We will once again bring onto the podcast Mr. Excitement himself. That's right. Big Dick Donnie Veltman will swing his way onto the show, who even when he gets good news, he gets bad news about reopening his bowling center. It's like, I don't know, Big Dick Donnie is from West Michigan, and Governor Whitmer is from West Michigan, and they're about the same age. And there has been numerous jokes, and I have no idea if they are true or not, about Governor Whitmer being a rather promiscuous, her being rather promiscuous in her younger years, and apparently, according to some, had an insatiable sexual appetite. I don't know. Could it be that in his younger days, before he met his lovely better half, Big Dick Donnie was plowing the then not governor of the state of Michigan, and she is now getting revenge? Is this what is happening here? Could we have breaking news? We must get Don on the podcast yet again to find this out. We got another crazy white bitch who thinks she's black. What? Do you remember that one? God, I vaguely remember that lady. Wasn't she? Yes, the Spokane, Washington leader of the NAACP. Remember her? She was, she was like a white chick. She's like Dutch or something like that. Years ago. This is years ago. And then it was a big, crazy ass thing. And it turns out she was like, she would go to like the spray tanner, and then she'd walk in, and then you'd see like the different price points at the spray tanner, and she'd like, all right, I want to be Charlie Murphy, or I want to be Wesley Snipes. There you go, spray tan me that. And then she had her hair done to look like that of an African American, and she was, like from Minnesota or some shit. Remember that? This has happened again. And this one though, this crazy bitch did not like make it look like she was a black chick. And so everybody's like, I can't believe it, man. I thought she was black because she told me, but she's not. What the fuck? We're going to get to this. And everybody hates her guts now. And it's like, I don't know why you're hating her guts. All she did was said she's black, and she's not. I mean, how did you not know she wasn't black? I mean, she's not black. What's going on here? Yeah. And we have a warning. Actually, a serious warning. I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to catch on fire. It's a warning that stupid people might not be aware of. Hand sanitizer is flammable. Did you know that? Did you know that well, of course you knew that. Everybody fucking knows that. They're making a big deal about this because some lady who's a big dum-dum, she caught on fire after she squirted her hands full of hand sanitizer and then lit a candle. I don't know, maybe it was Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle. I have no idea. But today on the Open, that's all coming up on this stupid show. I'm a little bit, I don't want to say nervous, but I'm trying to, I'll pull back the curtain a little bit here. I'm trying to take what I do every day on this show and market it to people who are looking for podcasts for their platform. Now, my idea is everything I do now stays the same. But I feel like I have a good handle on what I do now. So I want to take how I do this and make yet another podcast of one of two things. Either the best of the best stories or rants from the week and put it out as an additional podcast, yet to be named, yet to be anything. Or a 100% fresh podcast about things during the week. Just once a week. That's all I want to do. Once a week, hour or two, and I want it on a particular platform. That would allow me to reach a new audience, talk about this podcast, whoever this is that I'm talking about would get behind it and put their power of marketing in place to help promote the podcast. So I was lucky enough to have a dear friend of mine who is a major person in this type of industry introduce me to two individuals, one of which she didn't know that I knew. So of the two people, I actually know one of the people involved. And so, we had a little dialogue yesterday. And so there's a pretty damn good chance that from yesterday on, they might be paying attention to what the hell I do on this show. And, for the last 1 year, 9 months, I haven't had to worry about anything, about anybody watching what I do because I just don't give a shit. So, and I think that is what has allowed the podcast to be what it has become, this type of off the cuff vibe, grassroots, a lot of fun, saying whatever the hell I want, how I want to say it. And has allowed me to grow as a monologue one-person show. truth be told, I would never have banged on this door had it been even 6 months ago, because it's a massive learning curve. And there's still moments on this show where I'm like, fuck, man, I am in the weeds, you dipshit. What are you doing? If anybody is watching this, they're going to be sickened at how shitty it is. I'm pretty damn hard on myself. So this show right this minute might have eyes on it, might have ears on it. And that's like, oh, fuck, man, these are really, really prominent people in this type of content, spoken word, because nowadays most people get their spoken word content in podcasting. And these are two people who are gigantic in this industry, and they've joined forces in their powers for good to start this new thing. So I'm like, fuck, man, I want to get in on this action ASAP. So a little bit of nerves, which I'm not used to on this podcast. I walk in here, half the time I'm in my sweatpants or shorts, underwear. I got dogs in here. They're like, well, let's take a look at it. I go, well, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's in my attic. I got my dogs in here, and I'm just doing my thing. We don't care. We're going to watch it. So here you go. Today, though, is also a spectacular day because I am launching a new podcast in this room. And today is the day that I start my show with Ben officially. And for those that don't know, when I was on the air at Cumulus, Ben was my guy. It was Ben. It was me. The show was growing. We were getting pretty damn good at it, and then, that ended. I don't need to rehash any of that shit. I don't care. I'm just happy that we finally got on the same page and made it happen. And, this is great. I've got honestly, I don't have a whole lot of things scheduled or planned on it. Ben and I have been doing his show and my show. His show is known as Balls Out with Ben Glaze and Brett Hayes. He's been doing his show. I've been doing my show long enough that, for us to be able to come up with what we're going to talk about will be no problem at all. So this is a weekly show that we will be doing, that we are launching today right here in the same way that you get my daily show for free for the month of September. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and, of course, on-demand audio podcasts wherever you download podcasts, the same way I do this show. So this is great. Facebook is brought to you by my friends at Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. You can follow the show on YouTube. Search Eric Zane Show. Subscribe to that. Please subscribe to it. Hit the notification bell. Give me a thumbs up on every video that you check out. That would be nice. I appreciate that. And Twitter, that is a Periscope video made possible by Blue Frost IT at Eric Zane Show on Twitter. All right. I'm also on Instagram, brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Thank you to them. I do Instagram instant trivia on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time there, where people can win money. So that's a lot of fun as well. So I'm pretty stoked about getting together with Ben and just getting after it. And that'll be every Friday we will debut a new show. After the month of September, I'm going to push that show over to Patreon, part of the subscription service. If you are already on Patreon, you will get it. $5 or $10 a month. $5 is audio, $10 is audio video, and the video is live stream, so you can basically interact with us when we do that show. When we get into October, I will start the show on Facebook for 5-10 minutes, and then stop the stream. Just, so that you can get a little taste of it, maybe. That'll trying to keep us top of mind in your world. And then maybe you'll like the show enough to sign up for our Patreon. All right? I should say my Patreon. It's mine. It's not a separate Patreon. It's the same one that you're used to. Now, it should be pointed out that, like on a lot of podcasts, they'll throw out a Patreon episode, and you subscribe to it for, I don't know, $5 or $10 a month in a lot of cases, and they give you like one extra podcast a month, and that is absolute bullshit. I tried to set the bar very, very high on Patreon because I would feel nothing but miserable if I did as little as that. But on our Patreon, my Patreon, each and every day you get an extra podcast. You get Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia with Dale. You get the Insane Asylum, which is a commercial-free radio show that I do for Q100 in Northern Michigan. Plus my podcast with Ben. Oh, my God. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Coming up on Monday is something also very cool. Since that is Labor Day, I am doing I'm not going to be here live. I will have a show that I'm putting together that you will hear my voice hosting, and I have to make that today. But I am doing a best of show for Monday it's not really a best of show. It's something I've never done before. I used to take old Free Beer and Hot Wings clips and play them, and then but that was a bad idea, and I should not have done that. That was not my property, and so I quit doing that, thank God. And so no more of that. And when I was gone for a week, I actually pulled some best of material from my podcast, which was great fun. I really enjoyed making that. Took a little time, no big deal, but I loved it. I love putting it all together, and I hope you liked it too. But I got my hands on WBBL material. Now, that show is no more. My show, the Eric Zane Show on the radio with Ben. That show is no more. So me playing that is a lot different than playing my stuff when I was on with Greg and Chris, because that show still exists, obviously. So this is just great. I got my hands on it. Thank you to Pellerito of some archive material from the show on BBL. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got a couple of I got plenty of material, but so I will make available on the free podcast one of those and on the Patreon. And I'll be hosting it, and I'll play like 15, 20 minutes, and I'll check back in, speak to the sponsors, speak about the sponsors to you, and then continue on with the show. So that will be great. That is on Monday. I won't be doing a fresh show. Tuesday, back with a fresh show. I promised you a drawing right now. This is great because TC Paintball, Rick is a great story. Rick Steinebach. He started that business from the ground up. Hold on, I don't even need this right now anymore. I'm screwing with this. And then the pandemic happened right about the time that he was getting ready to really get after his outdoor paint facility. He has the indoor paint facility here in Grand Rapids, which is awesome, where we've done all our parties. But then he was like, I want to have an outdoor one. I think that's going to be awesome. So his outdoor plan was to have another airball field, if you will, which is all the inflatables that you hide behind. That's called airball. And then he built, with all these pallets and crates, what's called Tactical Village, which is separate. And it's like, it's like close combat. You're like peering around corners. All of a sudden you see a barrel of a paintball gun right in your face. My God, I am so on edge when I play paintball. I always get shot, and it hurts for about 5 seconds, especially because I wear my damn pants too tight. Oh, God, hit right in the hammy or the ass. Ooh. So then the pandemic hits. He's shut down. He's screwed. But he takes all that time to build the outdoor facility. But he's taking it on the chin. I mean, he's making no money during the height of it, Finally, he is allowed to open, but only outdoors. Thank God he built that outdoor thing. I mean, seriously, what are the odds? And so if it had been indoors, he wouldn't have been able to get after it as early as he did. But because the place is outdoors, he was. So, holy shit. I don't know what it was, but because nobody had anything to do, I guess, no bowling, no movie theaters, nothing. The audience came out in drove and and supported Rick. And so what was shitty became excellent. And he immediately contacted me and said, I want to help Big Dick Donnie. and his bowling center, Howard City Lanes up north. So he gave, this has happened many times. I had MB Distributing did the same thing. These are my sponsors helping other sponsors. Even just random listeners. Zaniac Dirk won and Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia. He won $25. He gave the money to me to buy a gift certificate to give away on this podcast. And I did. You guys are the best, man. That has really just pumped some life into so many people. And Don's a disaster anyway. Holy shit. He's got a 10-cent head. So, he's freaking out beyond belief. And he said it was a huge help, not only financially, but mentally when people come out of the woodwork and help him. So Rick throws $100 into the pot. I buy 4 gift certificates. Well, he bought them. I have them in my hand. And now we're doing the drawing. Because when we are able to bowl again, and more about that in a second, we'll do it at Big Dick Donnie's. All right, 4 of these. Let's see, I got 2 right here. Nate Bull out of Grand Haven, Michigan. You've got a $25 gift certificate. Robert Dale, you've won. Gerald Vanderhorst. Well, that's a Dutch name. Kevin Steele. That's it. That's the 4. Nate, Robert, Gerald, and Kevin. I will be in touch. Congrats. There you go. Okay. I'm in a little bit of pain right now as we wrap up the Open. When you're seated in one spot for as long as I am every single day, right here, I am developing a new set of injuries that I have never experienced before. Back in the day of radio, I was leaving the radio station by 11 a.m. and then on with my day. Sleeping, swim, bike, run, doing triathlon shit. As I started, after I left Freeburn Hot Wings and went to Cumulus, I started putting more time in at the radio station trying to build the show, and I would get home later. And so triathlon ended. I stopped doing that. I didn't have any time. So more and more time getting ready for the radio show, less people involved in making the radio show. Thus, somebody's got to do it. All right. That crashes and burns. Podcast starts. Podcast is full-time job. Being that there's only one employee, you got to do everything, which you will never get a complaint from me. I love this. This is the best thing in the world. Okay? Sitting here, writing content, doing content, executing content, trying to sell the content. It's great. It's an absolute joy. And you will never, ever hear me complain about it. If I complained about it, I wouldn't be able to sit here every day with some degree of passion for what I do, because I'd be in a shitty mood and everything would suck and it would just be terrible and it would be, awful. So, but what happens is I sit here for so long, actually physically here. First of all, it's very important that I maintain all the physical activity that I can, running and lifting weights and things like that, because I'll get sick otherwise. I'll become diabetic. I won't be able to donate the kidney. So it's super important that I maintain some degree of physical activity, considering the fact that I sit here so long. So that means taking O'Neill and Bruce, Daisy, and Benny for a walk twice a day. While doing this podcast, the walking of the dogs has decreased. So I've had to restart that again. These dogs are getting fat as shit. O'Neill is 10 pounds heavy. I'm fat as shit. So something's got to give. Sitting here for this long has started to result in various ridiculous injuries. And Kenny sent this thing along, and this has helped me a lot. This is like a brace for your hands that you put in front of the keyboard. It's support. And because I had developed all this pain in the area that is common with carpal tunnel. And I'm not for sure that, because it wasn't diagnosed, but I know that in the area where people say it happens, it hurts. So it's still a little bit painful, but not nearly what it was. Because I was getting to a point when I would be sitting there working, doing the damn show, and fuck, even typing anything was bad. And I was like, holy shit. And so what is going on? And so thank God that happened. Again, another example of the audience just out of the blue helping me out. Before I forget, thank you to Zaniac, Kevin, and Muskegon. The dude out of the blue sent me a brand of coffee that I have never heard before, that I haven't yet opened up. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I was late today and I had to get my old coffee and I just had it ready to go there. So he just sent me a bag of this coffee that he loves, and I'm really appreciative. Thank you, Kevin, for doing that. And he responded with, Hey, Kevin.
The clip of the day.
Follow Kevin on YouTube at Zaniacs Global. Don't listen to any of it yet. Just hit the notification bell and give it a thumbs up. But don't listen. If you do it at your own risk. Make sure you're lying on the ground. It sucks to be my friend sometimes, man. I'm sorry. So, that's a problem. But yesterday, I was here trying to sign up people on Patreon for all those donated Patreon memberships. Excuse me. And as I'm sitting here, holding onto the mouse, so many times I'm clicking with my index finger that I noticed I started to have pain right in the knuckle. The one that meets the part of your hand, the first one. And I'm like, what is going on here? That's kind of weird. And then it gets worse. It got so bad that I actually had to stop, put the mouse in my other hand, and do it with this hand, which was weird. And it got so painful that I had to wrap the hand in ice. I actually had an overuse bit of pain from using a mouse, which is ridiculous. But now I've got the left hand is bothering me because of this whole whatever this is that I was describing to you. And now the right hand, my fucking finger hurts from using a mouse. And I'm like, I have never experienced anything like this. It's from sitting here for too damn long doing these things. It seems like I have to pry myself away from this. It's like, you must do this. You must separate yourself at some point, because I start writing the show at about 7 a.m. Eastern time. Then I execute the show. Then I do production work and post the show. And then all the things I do that are boring till fucking 4, 5, 6 o'clock, and I'm like, I need to actually shut it down earlier. I think I'm actually have you ever had that where you have someone say to you, you're working too hard, you're working too much? But it's embarrassing because I'm like, yeah, but it's my finger. Who gives a shit? So it's just really strange right now. Then coupled with that, my tits hurt so bad right now from that P90X workout that I did on Monday. And it's actually starting to subside now. But I'm so poorly, and I'm so not in shape that here I am. You do like a handful of push-ups, and you do some pull-ups or try to, and then a few more push-ups, and you kind of repeat. That's how it works. Well, while I'm doing them, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take it easy and just do I want to do well short of what I think I can do. And then I won't have that chronic soreness in a couple of days. Now, I went to school for this. I actually went to school for exercise science. I've got a Bachelor of Science in this. The actual degree is exercise science and cardiac rehabilitation. I forgot my own degree. And so I know what the fuck I'm doing. But yet, despite that, I found after doing my miserable 4 or 5 push-ups and then doing another set of 4 or 5 push-ups, it sounds so embarrassing. I was like straining to get them done. As of yesterday, which is 2 days after, my tits hurt so bad, and I wanted to go running. Now, my legs are not sore in any way, but my tits are so fat and jostly that when you run, you know how you bounce? My tits would bounce. And because of the titty bounce, the actual, each time they would drop, it would, oh my God, it would shoot pain like you wouldn't believe. So I'm barely moving. I could run fast if I wanted to, but I didn't need to that day, thank God. And I'm like, oh my God, between my finger and my bouncing titty pain, what a fucking day. I feel like I am 1,000 years old, man. Let's real quick. It's been way too long since we've been able to bring in the queen of the forest, since she has started working back at the schools. So, but she apparently, well, I know this, and now you do. She has the day off today. Hey, welcome. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
So, the queen of the forest segments of the show are brought to you by Baldwin Ace Hardware. You know that, right? That's where you buy all your hardware stuff, right?
Exactly.
Okay, now why do you have a day off 1 week into the school year? Is this back to the same old easy schedule for the school?
This is the. Would you like to be in the schools right now?
Why is it so hard to be in the schools? Tell everybody. I mean, I know, but why is it hard to be in the schools?
Masks all day, doing two forms of learning, virtual learning and in-person learning.
Has that
That's just,
there's been a lot of challenges with that? So
yeah.
now you work with some of the how would you describe your students? Can we say that? Or is that even okay to say?
Yeah, students with special needs, yeah.
Okay, so now those young people, do they do virtual learning too?
Two of my students are doing virtual learning right now.
So it's more of a it's important for the people that you work with to actually be in the school, right?
Right, but a couple of them have chosen to learn from home, so their parents help them.
Okay,
and so we do it via Zoom, so they're still with us. But
have you had to? So are you actually on camera talking to the kids via Zoom?
Yeah.
Have any of them acted up, or you have to like, hey, come on, focus?
Not yet.
No,
not yet. But their parent is right there with them.
Okay, so mom and dad are helping, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So far so good.
So far so good. It's just
Okay. Well, anyway, I just want to bring you because it's been way too long since we've had a chance to speak with you. But,
I know. We're back to the real world now.
Yeah, but why a day off today?
Because it's the holiday weekend.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. But don't you have like days to make up? I mean,
no.
We're
starting fresh.
Okay.
It's a whole new year. That last year is just like a, Yeah.
So, in the schools wearing the mask all the time. What happens if you're seen with his sorry, I can't talk. With it off. Does anybody? I mean, say, hey, put your mask on. I mean.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even the students, do they ever do the deal where they drop it below the nose?
Oh yeah, all the time.
You have to put it on.
Yeah, we do, and we take a lot of mask breaks, so that's nice.
What is that? Just take them off?
We just step outside for a couple minutes, take a little walk if it's nice out, and they're able to take off.
All the kids.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay, so you got big plans this weekend. You're gonna go have another reunion with another family member.
Yep.
All right, it should be good. And you're bringing Kevy with you?
Kevy's going with me.
Okay. Everything good today?
So far, so good.
Okay. All right. Well, I got nothing else for you. I just want to say hi. Everybody loves hearing your voice, so that's it. That's all I got for you.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right. We'll see
and you can't. Hey, you can't leave until I'm done because you said you wanted to leave at 10 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
All right. I'll try to be wrapped up by then.
That's the time we're leaving, so we might have to meet Tony for lunch. So if you're ready or not, I'm leaving.
You just lower that. You're just dropping the hammer on me, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
There you go.
Love you. Bye.
Yeah, love you too. Queen of the Forest, brought to you by Baldwin Ace Hardware and the Open of the Eric Zane Show podcast, brought to you by sponsors galore. Green Clean Technologies wants to make sure that if you have a business that has a data center and like a school, a hospital, or a bank, you know the room I'm talking about. There's glass, there's servers, blinky lights. All right. You might think that room is on autopilot, no big deal, but that room needs to be clean, like an operating room. and you can't see. You're like, what are you talking about, Zane? It's a clean room. I know you can't see it. It's very, very minute particles that are in the air. And when they build up onto those servers, that's where trouble starts. Call upon Green Clean Technologies. They can work with you, give you an estimate on how that room should be appropriately cleaned, because the last thing you want is to have something just go kaput because of oddly charged particles landing on your very, very sensitive equipment, because in this day and age, it's all about the data. The data leaves, you're out of business. 586-560-7272 for Green Clean Technologies. Horizon Hydroponics is on board with the show. They've been helping people grow stuff indoors and outdoors, whether it be tomatoes or cucumbers, to the biggest, best cannabis plants that anybody's ever seen, since before it was cool to grow the biggest, best cannabis plants that anybody's ever seen. Michigan is a very green state right now after deregulation, decriminalization, okay? Horizon Hydroponics has fought through all of those odd years to get a foothold. They have 4 businesses in and around the state. In West Michigan on Alpine, in Grand Rapids, the Growers Outlet in Byron Center, Kalamazoo, Michigan, and Lansing, Michigan. The expertise to go along with it. Everybody who works at Horizon Hydroponics is very knowledgeable in this field. Okay, if you're lucky, you'll get the guru, John, from Horizon Hydroponics. And they have a terrific online platform for people anywhere in the United States. HorizonHydroponics.com for all of the things you would need to grow, to have a bountiful harvest, if you will, of whatever it is you are growing. In fact, if you can call them on the phone, the number's right on their website, and say, hey, what do I do with this? Yeah. Okay, right. Hey, but I'm in Arizona. No problem. This is what you do. Knowledge. Okay, great. Bye. Hang up. Bye. $250 or more. The shipping's free. And you get a coupon. Zane Show at checkout. It's going to save you 10%. HorizonHydroponics.com. In fact, I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live with my friends from Horizon Hydroponics. I'll go see John next week, and we'll shoot a video. It's always fun. I just love it. Talking with people who just know what the hell they're talking about in their respective field. Speaking of which, he knows a lot about running a bowling alley and rolling himself.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Don. How are you, buddy?
Pretty good. How about you?
Not bad. So last time we spoke, there was a little trash talk that had begun between you and your pal, my pal, Denny Porter. Now, can Denny roll? I mean, is he good at bowling, or is he just full of shit?
He's okay, but he needs like the perfect conditions. Like, he's already angling with me right now. Like, you got to do this, you got to do that, and then I'll bowl you up there. But if you don't do this, then I won't bowl you. Wait. Denny throws the ball about 7 miles an hour. He's like a small child.
Yeah. He's like, okay. All right.
Although he's very large, he throws it like a small child. So,
what can you explain exactly what you mean by you need to do this, you need to do that? What is he? I don't get it. He's telling you how to bowl before he bowls you in a bowl off?
No, it's how he wants me to put the oil down on the lanes, because Denny throws the ball 7 miles an hour.
Yeah,
he needs an exceptional amount of oil. Like, I'll probably have to, hijack Exxon to put enough oil down for him. Well, so he's able to compete against me.
Well, that sounds like bullshit to me. So he wants you to cater the lanes to how. Okay, how about you bowl on one lane, and so then you would bowl on your own lane that you have not oiled the way he wants to, right?
That works. Okay,
so you'd have what's best for Don. He'd have what is best for Denny. So if that happens, he would bowl you in a bowl off.
It sounds like that way. Yes. He's got a lot of requirements. He's very needy. Yeah. But yes.
How long have you known Denny Porter?
Oh, geez. A long time. Too long.
Where does he roll out of? Rockford?
Yeah, he rolls out of Rockford.
And that's his place, right?
Corey Brown owns Rockford, but
okay.
yeah.
Okay. So Denny thinks he can beat you, but he's got to have the lanes a certain way. Is he the type of guy who like bends over like a little kid and just with two hands just kind of shoves it down the lane?
I mean, with how fast he throws the ball, how slow he throws the ball, you would figure, yes. It's kind of inconceivable to me that he throws it like a normal human being, yet still only throws it 7 miles an hour. So,
in all your years of running bowling alleys, bowling yourself, being around bowling, have you ever run into a scenario where just some little kid off the street, teenager who doesn't even bowl, catches fire and just has a massive game that will never happen again? You know, I mean, normally he'd bowl like a 70, and then he just hangs like a 240 for just out of the blue. Does that ever happen?
Yeah, I've seen stuff like that. That can definitely happen. I've seen, this guy he was probably like a 130, 140 average bowler. It was amazing. He ripped off the first 11 strikes. So he's got 11 strikes in a row. He's going for 300. Guess the next ball.
Gutter.
He
fucked it up.
He was a right-hander too, and he threw it in the left gutter. Like, that's like, it's just hard to imagine. Like, I could see you like kind of dumping it into the right gutter. Like, I've dumped some in the right gutter in my life before. I did a couple times at Rockford last year, but the left gutter, like, oh my God, like you don't even know what to say. Like, it was a huge game for the guy. Yeah. You don't know whether to say like congratulations or like just kind of walk away. Like,
so wait a minute. He rattles off 11 in a row. I mean, that is incredible pressure if I had 2 strikes in a row and I'm trying to get a turkey, you know, I'm sweating bullets. This guy rattles off 11 in a row. That's remarkable.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. And everybody was just pulling for the guy because this is a guy that obviously this was probably his only chance ever. I mean, it wasn't like he was young. He was probably like mid 30s, 40s range. It's not like he's out practicing, getting a ton better. Like, and for this was his time. Like the stars just aligned and everything was going right. And we're like, oh man, you know, this is gonna be a great story. This 130 average bowler is gonna throw 300. And as soon as he threw the first one, it was like, or that last one, I was like, uh-oh.
So,
and boom, left gutter.
To be clear, a 300 is 12 straight.
Correct.
So this was it. He was right there. He was on the precipice of glory. This guy flies in out of nowhere and hammers out a 300. Can you imagine everybody must have been busting his balls right then, man. Holy shit.
You know, honestly, if I remember the situation right, I don't think anybody was, because everybody was so
I guess so.
And they didn't know what to say. You don't know. I mean, that's still a huge game, so you don't know whether to walk over and go, "Hey, congratulations," or like,
"Wow,
ooh, like what do you say?"
Man, wow, that's incredible. Well, Don, one of the reasons I bring you in is to talk a little bowling, and I kind of wanted to get started going down that road, but then I also wanted to talk about the news yesterday, where amazingly, somehow it's like the governor has it out for you, Don, and you know, and just so we have it all set up, bowling can start, but only leagues for Howard City lanes. Yes,
it is written so difficult to read. You need like a master's in law to understand what's going on in there for bowling alleys. The way it reads is for competition only. The way I almost read it was the intent was to address high school and almost nothing else. But the way, you know, I'm prescribing it is that it's for leagues, competition, like tournaments, things like that. So that's the way most other people and lawyers have kind of looked at it. As, you know, we've tried to get further clarification, like, hey, what does this mean for us?
Yeah.
So yes, our understanding is it means leagues, it means tournaments. There's also some really weird stuff written in there about that you can't have concession stands, which does that mean we can't do food and drink? But from what we've heard, it means like concession stands where people like walk up and buy stuff. But if you have a waitress going to them, you can do it. Like, it is so bizarre.
Oh my God. What a
just
pain
make
in the
it-
ass.
Just
Holy
write
shit.
it clear and make it easy.
Yes. Yeah, all right. So I think all right, I'm just spitballing here, but why can't, let's say you have 2 families of 5 that want to bull, okay? And they come in off the street, they get the stupid shoes, they go get their rental balls, and then you just put up a sign, and it's like, it's the Brooks family versus the Smith family tournament, and just write Brooks versus Smith tournament and just hang up the sign. There you go. You got the tournament, right?
Oh, I'll have a lot of tournaments going on.
So that means if people, let's just say this, if people want to come off the street to go bowling, they have to understand that they will be entering a tournament, right, Don? Wink, wink.
They'll be entering a tournament. I encourage like some smack talk during that tournament too.
Okay.
Like just
all right. Yeah. If she wants to play this legal mumbo jumbo, I mean, you can play that game by all means. It's all tournament play going forward at Howard City Lanes in beautiful Howard City, Michigan, and at all bowling alleys, Rockford Lanes, Sherman Bowling Center. Wherever there's bowling, there will be tournament play happening, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I just feel like I've just heard a lot about tournaments lately that, people are really interested in tournament bowling.
Yeah, it's tournament season. So, and in fact, this portion of the show is brought to you by your local bowling center, where tournament play began yesterday. From now on, as stated on the Eric Zane Show podcast, tournament play is every day at your local bowling center. Go on in and have a tournament today. Don, I was speculating on the show because in addition to this, it appears that gyms can be open, but and I don't know if there's a long list of legal things that go along with the gyms, but it seems like gyms would be a place where there would be more opportunities for people to get coronavirus than a bowling center. You agree?
Yeah, I agree.
But yet they're all still open. So, I mean, there is some real oddness going on here. It seems like the bowling centers are getting it between the eyes, and movie theaters can't open yet either. And that's, about, you can really, really control that environment with the seating.
Yeah, that is absolutely mind-boggling to me. Like, I thought we were getting it pretty hard, and then I figured they would definitely open. They might even open before us. And then when the word comes down and they're not able to open, that is really confusing to me. I've never been one to like single out other industries and say, well, like they should not be open if this place can't be open. So I don't want to, I don't want to say that, but saying that it's pretty insane that a gym can be open and a movie theater cannot.
And there might be a method to the madness, trying to play devil's advocate here. I don't want to seem like it's just I'm going guns a-blazing at the governor. I mean, I've had a very strong stance about how I've supported what she has done up to this point. But I think a thorough discussion needs to take place as to what you're thinking, and I don't think anybody's really getting that, are they? I think it's kind of like just, no, this is the way it is, and I don't have to explain it.
Yeah, I can't speak for movie theaters. I can speak for bowling alleys and for entertainment venues. That the biggest issue is that you're just not getting any information. You ask for the information. What do we need to open safely? And we've never been able to get it. I mean, we didn't even get it on the bowling alley side. We just got opened. Nothing was ever passed down of, hey, this was what we'd like to see from you, blah, blah, blah. It's just, the executive order comes out, and then there's the rules in there, and then you've got to figure them out kind of on your own, what these mean, and basically go through a lawyer to figure out, okay, what are we allowed to do? What aren't we allowed to do? situation. Like, just communicate with us. That's all we're asking.
I know people that have worked in their business have been fined for having whatever. They didn't, like a person came in that was associated with the state and or at least turned them into the state, a consumer. And are you concerned about that happening? And if you are turned in, do you have a way to, I don't know, thread that needle like we talked about, how every day is tournament day?
I mean, the reality is I've got 7 leagues. I've got a league every single day of the week. So there's a pretty limited tournament time for me.
Gotcha.
Whereas other places might have, maybe a bigger issue with that. But, I mean, yeah, there's a loophole there, and there's, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
The governor is exposing a loophole, in my opinion, in the things that she's doing right now.
I think we need to just focus on, if it's not league day, every day is tournament day going forward. And I think that all bowling centers should put that on their marquees. Come on, bring the family in for a tournament.
I've actually talked to several other bowling alleys. It doesn't affect me nearly as much, but I've talked to some other ones that will. Basically told them, because they were like, oh man, this is going to be killer. This is going to be killer for us. Leagues just won't get us by. And I'm like, run tournaments.
Yeah, do a tournament.
We can't get that many people in for tournaments.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Sure, you can.
It's basically open play.
Why haven't you?
Run a tournament, and there's a $5 gift certificate to the person who has the highest score that night.
Yeah,
it's a tournament.
You give them like a free pencil or something. You won the tournament. Congratulations. You can have a big ceremony, and you can write on the marquee, open play equals tournament. Or now only open play equals tournament. When you were living in and around where I'm at right now, Governor Whitmer was a young lady, and she lived in and around the Forest Hills area of Grand Rapids. Did you by chance have sex with her, and she's jilted, and that's why she's taken this hard stance against bowling alleys? Is she a scorned lover of yours?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, there's a lot of hazy days back in those days, so I can't remember for sure. Maybe she's just missing that big D, and she's punishing me.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, all you have to do is listen to this show for any amount of time, know about the size of your Johnson, and there's been a lot of talk about her promiscuity. There's nothing wrong with that. I fully support promiscuous young ladies. And she really loved a lot of dick, from what I'm told. Back in the day. So what I'm wondering is if maybe that has something to do with it.
It's completely possible. It's tough to keep track of my Wilt Chamberlain days.
Yep. All right. Well, Don, you've done it again. I appreciate you. And before you know it, tournaments, comedy, the whole thing's coming around. It's all coming up roses for you, Don.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very good. Hopefully more trash talking with Denny Porter. I would love to be able to be up there for the big one-on-one matchup between you two. We can only hope for that. I just gave away 4 gift certificates to your place. So we've got 4 more people that'll be coming up to see you for a tournament.
I appreciate that. I appreciate TC Paintball, MB Distributing, everybody that's contributed. And I said, as soon as I can stop sucking dick for money, then, I'll get out and support those places.
Yeah, of course. Well, hell, with MB, just go buy a Little Debbie snack.
I do. Yeah. I mean, I've been a huge supporter already, so I've been a lifelong supporter of that operation.
Yep. All right. Really good, man. I will talk to you very soon. Thank you, Don.
Thanks, Eric.
There you go, Big Dick Donnie Veltman, joining me once again on the podcast after Michigan. Not everybody who listens to this podcast is from Michigan, but it was a little weird how, it was no high school sports, everything shut down, whatever. But I don't know. We're not any better off with infections now, really, than we were. Definitely not. As the pandemic was getting started, everything got shut down. Okay. And there was only a handful of people that were getting sick. We still get 600-700 people a day test positive. the deaths are way down. And God only knows why the deaths are way down. Why at one point it was absolutely through the roof. There are a lot of theories that I won't get into about that. But as a whole in the country, the deaths are down. And so despite the infection staying at about where they are, everything's still being open. The schools are open. Now the kids can play sports all of a sudden like that. And so this is it also, again, no playbook for this. Don't look to me for the answer. I'm not going to be the guy to say everything's fucked and you're this and you're that. All I know is that I think that people in general, I think a majority of people have the mindset now that they're just going to take it in stride. I honestly think that people are okay with the risk. And I think that attitude is leading to the decision making. I think I firmly believe that people are like, I mean, I know I do. I just don't think about it anymore. I still wear my mask when I go places. I still try to obey the rules for the most part, but I have so much time has passed that I'm like, it's going to be okay. Other people don't feel that way. They're still very much vigilant about it, but I think more people are less concerned these days and just say, fuck it. We're just going to do what we will. So we shall see. All right. Gwyneth Paltrow is absolutely one of the most brilliant marketers that the world has ever known. The company that she runs is called Goop, which is just a weird thing to say. So the company is called Goop, and I don't know if that has something to do with her initials, G-O-O-P, Gwyneth and the Paltrow with two O's. I don't know, no idea. I don't know anything about this. I know she was in the Avengers movies, Pepper Potts, and she name her kid something weird. I don't know a whole lot about her. But she has this company called Goop, and she is selling a candle that you can't get right now because everybody bought it. And she just took any shitty candle, put it in a holder, and slapped a label on it, and everybody's bought the candle. And, I imagine some sick fuck like Don Veltman would buy it and then sniff it and then try to get aroused. I don't know why I'm taking a run at Don, but the candle is called This Smells Like My Vagina. Which is just fucking funny. And it smells beautiful. It's like it smells like any great candle smells like, damn, I want to eat that candle. But it doesn't smell like a vagina. I mean, I can't remember any time in my life. I got to be careful here. In fact, I should probably defer some of this pain by once again bringing in the Queen of the Forest here to talk about this. Because I know if I talk about it, what I say is going to probably become a disaster. Hey, I'm really sorry to bother you, but I had something that I had to run by you.
What?
You know who Gwyneth Paltrow is?
Yeah.
Well, she's making like millions of dollars a year with this company called Goop.
Goop?
Yeah. Goop.
What's that?
I'm not exactly sure. I think they sell just a lot of. Well, I don't even know any one of the products that they sell except for one particular thing, and that is a candle.
Oh, I love candles.
I do too. Some candles, some smell a little funky. But
is it a special kind of candle that costs like $300 each?
I don't know, but I know that it's selling like crazy and everybody's buying it. And I'm just going to go over the story with you. The candle, it actually has on it, it's a label, and it says, "This smells like my vagina."
Ew. Like Gwyneth's vagina?
Okay.
Don't they all smell the same?
I don't know. I've only smelled one.
Uh-huh. I remember in college, you said that one girl really was bad.
Oh, that was terrible. That was terrible. Yes, I'll never
That was
forget
before
it.
you met me.
I'll never forget it because it was, no matter how much I washed, my hand smelled like her for fucking days. That's incredible.
That's disgusting.
It's like she took a dump out of her vagina or something.
Oh, my God. It's a good thing you didn't stay with her.
I remember I lived with those two black guys, Skip, James Skipper and Nathan.
Yeah.
And Skip goes, man, she's in your pores. She's in your pores. That was a dude who, when I walked into the room, he was nude and he had this huge Johnson and he was cleaning his wiener off with rubbing alcohol. Remember? I told you about that?
Yeah, that's because he wasn't circumcised.
And I go, what are you doing, Skip? He goes, man, I was clean it off after I have sex. I don't want to get burnt. I go, okay, thanks.
Okay, see you later.
Wait, I'm not done.
No, I was saying that I was quoting him.
Oh, okay. The 47-year-old actress who founded the lifestyle brand made headlines when she unveiled her unusual scented candle. But it's now revealed the team behind the candle got the inspiration for the scent by smelling Gwyneth's vagina. So with that,
this is disturbing.
I know it sounds weird, but the way they describe it, it's like she's at work with her legs open, and then the employees come up and take a big whiff and go, "Hey, I got an idea," and it's all marketing.
Maybe that's the name where they got the name Goop.
Exactly. This all ties in. This is very sick to me, but what this is brilliant marketing. Because the candle, which actually smells of geranium, citrusy, bergamot, I don't know what that is, and cedar, and she described it as, this is what it smells like, and I had my employees actually smell my vagina, and this is the candle. So she's saying her vagina smells like that, and idiots from far and wide like me are now talking about her candle. This is brilliant. This is why it's sold out. It doesn't smell like her vagina, of course. I mean, can you imagine if it actually did smell like her vagina, how terrible that would be?
Well, maybe we should order one and see.
Well, exactly. That's why this is brilliant, man. I love this marketing. So cool. But then,
maybe you should try that.
Try what? Making a candle or
yeah. That smells like
your
ball
like
sack.
This smells like my balls.
Yeah.
But actually make it smell like my balls. It's probably already been done. Do you remember the time when you thought that I had two scrotums?
Well, I do. I thought that.
She thought, even though you had been on the business end of it for decades.
It does look like one. I mean, I think it's because yours are so saggy.
Saggy balls. Okay.
That it looks like only one big sack.
Wait, you saying it does look like one or it looks like two?
It looks like one sack.
No. You often said that I had two sacks.
Oh, yeah, it looks like two sacks.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's
it's
what
one sack.
You're having a dad moment. That's what you for years thought you called it my sacks. And I went, it's not plural.
Right.
And you said, why is it not plural? There's two. I go, no, I know there isn't two. What the fuck is? You still don't know.
No, I do, but I'm saying it was so saggy that it would, and then there would be like a little indentation in the middle, so it looked like two.
Yeah, I know, but at some point after they've been in your mouth that many times, you would figure out that you have one actual set of balls and one sack in your mouth. And you never did. You never did figure it out. I had to tell you. I had to actually break it down for I go, look, no,
No.
Okay, that's it. I wanted to run this by you. So this
Okay,
candle.
order one of those candles. How much are they?
I don't even know. It doesn't. The article doesn't say, and I don't want to pause to look it up. But yeah, you'll have to look it up on your own. But it says right on. This smells like my vagina. I don't want this around my house. And she's sitting here. It's all stupid. Rather than just saying the reason why she's doing this. And if she had just said, I'm doing this because everybody's going to buy it because it says that on the candle, she's got this long, drawn-out story as to how it's empowering for women and all this other nonsense. She said, the idea that women have been taught to have a certain amount of shame about their body, so if you just light a candle that says, this smells like my vagina, and put it on the coffee table, it's kind of a punk rock statement. And let me just tell you, I think that there's... What are you doing? You know how loud that is in my ears when you do that? It's really loud. The fact of the matter is, don't show me your boobs or I'll turn the camera. The fact of the matter is, if you're a woman who stinks down there, that is shameful. Go wash your frickin' cooch, you fucking pig. Okay, thank you. I gotta go. Stop showing me
I
your
love
boobs.
you.
All right, there you go. She got bored and started actually showing me her boobs. What a dumbass. Brilliant marketing by Gwyneth Paltrow. Hey, aren't they proud to be associated with the show? The Kent County Health Department reminding you to cough into your elbow, wear a mask, be socially distant when you can. We're talking vaccinations. So, I mean, everybody knows about the whole mask thing. Now we moved on to get your flu shot. Okay? Flu shot, if you get the flu, myth is, I'm going to get the flu now. If I get a flu shot, I'll get the flu. That's not true at all. There is zero fact in that. Get a flu shot. Reach out to the Kent County Health Department, 616-632-7100 if you need more information. Or just go to their website, accesskent.com/health for more information about getting your free flu shot. Kids need vaccinations, measles, mumps, rubella, whooping cough, pertussis, cervical cancer vaccine for the teenage ladies. These are all very, very important. A lot of people have let that slide during the pandemic. You don't want sick kids. Talked about it for many, many moons about vaccination. And if you're an anti-vaxxer, they won't say it, but I will. Fuck you, okay? Get your kids vaccinated, you assholes. Okay? That's my message. Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage wants to remind you that you too can get into a mortgage. If you are paying rent, you can get a mortgage. 231-332-6505. Whether if you have excellent credit, which obviously that would be a little bit less involved of a process to get you the mortgage that you need for whatever $1 million home you're going to buy, or if it's your first time mortgage, or if you're struggling with a bankruptcy or a divorce or something like that. Mario has all of the expertise in his own brain and with his staff to make this process very manageable. 231-332-6505. That's what I say to people. They're like, oh, man, what do I do? What do I do? I go, just call Mario. Just call him at his desk. That's his desk number. Call him and say hello. Which I think Mario now is back to coaching football for the mighty Fruitport football team. He is the assistant coach of them. So there you go. Very, very cool that he's able to get back after. And then last but not least for this round of advertisements, my friends at Metalworks Body Shop. My God, you see them working on the campers, travel trailers, fifth wheels. That is not easy work, getting those big beasts of machinery in there. They got to where the head of the deer went through the side. They got to pull the deer out, throw the deer away. And then they got this big hole. They got to replace the fiberglass, the wood, all the epoxies and the decals and the paint matching. This is not easy work. This is absolutely a work of art, making this thing look as good as new, okay? And the only place that does it is Metalworks Body Shop. Don't be fooled by all these other places. Well, there's not many of them, actually. This is a very specialized field, all right? Body work on an RV. They're in Coopersville, Michigan. They also do cars and boats. Call ahead. Make sure that they'll be able to get you in. But the big thing is the RVs. MetalWorksBodyShop.com. Or if you click on their logo at ericzaneshow.com, it will take you right to their Facebook page. Speaking of Facebook, my buddy Mike Ball from MB Distributing sent this along. I think he also sent me the candle story, too. You see, a lot of the times on the show, what I talk about is stuff that you've seen that you think I would be able to park on. You're all contributors who send me stories. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I am not alone here doing this thing. I sit there and act like, one-man show. I'm doing it all. Trust me, I got a staff. It's this amazing audience who tips me off on things that I should talk about, points me in the direction of potential sponsors, offers me moral support, financial support through Patreon. You guys are great. I see Kevin in Muskegon with a great suggestion via the email, the Green Clean Technologies inbox. So this is absolutely a spur-of-the-moment, shift-on-the-fly thing. So we'll see if this works. I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna pick it up because I didn't give him a heads up. Zach Herrig from Fox 17 is a huge fan of high school football, so he must be stoked about the idea that these brats are going to be back on the field.
You've reached Zach Herrick with Fox 17. Right now, but please leave your name, number, and a detailed message, and I'll return your call as soon as possible. Thanks. Have a great day.
Hey, Zach, it's Eric. I'm podcasting. Sorry to bother you. Kevin in Muskegon suggested I call you to talk about these new developments with the brats getting back on the football field. So call me back. I'll have the phone open. I'll just throw you live on the podcast. So if you call me before like 10 o'clock, you'll be live on the podcast. All right, don't be a bitch. See you, bye. Just kidding. You're not a bitch. There you go. Thank you, Kevin. All right, where was I? I was back to giving you all sorts of credit for helping me out doing the podcast. And so Mike Ball sent along a story that is just, I was shocked. I was like, wait a minute, is this some type of fake story? How many times have you turned around and seen on Facebook them wanting to pick your brain, how you can help the platform by answering a survey question? And, privacy is a big issue to some people. Hang on. Oh, God, I had to clear my throat. Excuse me. Facebook will ask questions all the damn time about this, that, and the other thing. But there's been numerous problems on Facebook recently, from violence on its live streaming service, according to this article from USA Today, to hate speech, to divisive messages sent by Russian operatives trying to meddle in the presidential elections, all things that happen on Facebook. Toxic content flowing through the platform has heightened scrutiny of Facebook. All right, so people have been watching them. So what's interesting is how in the world would they, in an effort to try to better the platform, would they allow a poll question to be asked of Facebook users that reads, should pedophiles be able to ask kids for sexual pictures? And you're like, wait a minute. Huh? Is this a joke? Facebook is under fire for asking users whether pedophiles should be able to proposition underage girls for sexually explicit photographs on the social network. The company routinely uses surveys, this is right from the article, to get feedback from the social network's more than 2 billion users. My God, that's incredible. More recently, Facebook's been relying on user surveys to take their pulse on everything from the fake news epidemic to whether Facebook makes them happy, as people have stopped spending as much time there. But the 2 questions in Sunday's survey shocked and angered Facebook users. Quote, in thinking about an ideal world where you could set Facebook policies, how would you handle the following? A private message in which an adult man asks a 14-year-old girl for sexual pictures. Now, the question alone, okay, if you ask that question, hang on a second here. Hey, buddy, how are you? Hey, yeah, sorry to bother you. Do you mind giving me a few minutes?
No, absolutely not.
All right, man. Okay, take me through it. You have been so covering the high school thing with all these kids that can't play football. All of a sudden, they can. Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean, selfishly, it's a great thing. No, I think for these kids, I think it's extremely important. You know, it's been a roller coaster for them. I just hope to God that this is here to stay. And that, you know, it's not another drag it out. Let's play football. And then all of a sudden we get to September 17th when games are supposed to start, September 18th. And then they shut it back down again. So,
right.
No, I mean, for me, going to these practices, talking to these kids, talking to these coaches about the mental health aspect of things. You know, originally they were so excited to be on the practice field, and they're like, yeah, you know, I think we're going to play. For a lot of these kids, they thought that, and then all of a sudden it gets shut down. And a lot of these athletic directors and coaches I talked to, they said, watch and see what our kids do now that we don't have football. You know, they said it's just hard to keep them disciplined. It's hard to keep them responsible for their actions. You know, these coaches said they're safer with us.
God, I can't believe that. That's crazy to me.
Or even in the classroom going home. Yeah, so no, I mean, the roundabout answer there, I mean, is absolutely they are definitely excited to get going. I mean, we were out in Muskegon yesterday for practice, and man, I mean, when Shane Fairfield, the head coach there, told them that they're back, I mean, it was unreal. It was just goosebumps. I mean, I was so excited to see those kids actually get that shot of energy they've been looking for 6 months.
Well, that's because every single player on the Muskegon team is like an NFL player. The Big Reds are always, I mean, it's ridiculous. They can beat the Lions. They're always so good. It's remarkable.
They are, yeah. They're the winningest program in the nation. So, yeah, it's amazing to see what they've built over there.
Okay, so now on the other side of that, it seems like there is a dwindling number of people who think that this is very irresponsible. I think that it's important to acknowledge that. I think there is some credence to that, but I don't know if enough people care about it, Zach.
Yeah, you know, it has been very interesting over the past few weeks just to see the back and forth between the MHSAA and the governor. I think that's the biggest thing. The conversations I've had with people, a lot of people are upset, I would say, with Governor Whitmer about how she kind of went at Mark Ewell of the MHSAA, saying, you know, it was kind of a lack of leadership. Now, she didn't say it was him specifically, but obviously you can put two and two together when she was asked about high school sports. You know, lack of leadership and character and all this stuff she talked about. And a lot of people have been in Mark Ewell's corner for the way that he's fought for high school sports and fought for these kids. But it's been a big back and forth battle between Governor Whitmer and the MHSAA. And for Governor Whitmer yesterday to come out and say, we don't recommend, you know, contact sports. And all of a sudden the MHSAA says, yep, football's back. I mean, it's a little bit interesting.
Yeah, it's weird.
A lot of politics played.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, you just hope it's here to stay. And you know, there are people saying it's irresponsible. I mean, the biggest complaint I have seen is that they're going to allow two two spectators in per player, and that goes for volleyball, indoor sports, as well as football and outdoor sports like boys soccer as well. So I've seen a lot of parents, a lot of family members say, well, now I can't go watch my cousin play. Now I can't go watch my brother play. Why did they just wait until spring? But there's no guarantee that things would be better by the spring. That's what I have to tell people. I mean, who knows how long this will drag out.
This is a good opportunity for the TV and the radio people to actually make these games, make sure that they'll be able to be listened to or watched. Right. Because I think this is a compromise. I would be more concerned about the mass of people in the stands than I do the kids playing. I don't know why that is. I don't know, just probably because you have a huge mass of people just sitting there breathing on each other. So this is a compromise. Going to have to live with it. At the end of the day, the kids play football, so what the hell,
Right, exactly. And yeah, the MHSA will be streaming most of these games. Schools, the best way to describe it is they have to opt in to the MHSA network. And what that looks like for smaller districts financially, I don't know. But the bigger schools like your Rockford, your Granville, your Jenison, they will, I would assume at least, be opting in. So they will be streaming their games on the MHSA website. I'm sure there's going to be a bigger avenue, like you were saying, for us to stream games, to go Facebook Live for more time. We're kind of talking to the MHSA about that. So what that looks like, we will see. But yeah, as far as radio, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, it's the best opportunity we've had in media to make sure people are listening, to make sure people can watch and listen. Because yeah, like you said, I mean, there's, I went to Hopkins and a small school, obviously, and Friday nights, I mean, football is what brings the community together, and you'll have people that don't have any connection whatsoever to the players on the field, but they are there every Friday night. And I mean, there's hundreds of people like that. And now I've seen Facebook comments like crazy. Well, now I can't go to the game. And yeah, no, I mean, you can't.
No, it's
interesting to see both ends of that spectrum.
Real quick, before I let you go, Zach, and thank you on such short notice. Well, no notice for doing this. How many wins will the Lions have this year? They're going to kick off in a couple of weeks. How many wins?
Oh man. I mean, you got to keep asking me this, don't you? Every week. I don't know.
4. It's going to be 4, Zach. Say 4.
No, there are so many questions though, because if Stafford's healthy the entire season, which I pray to God that Taylor Decker in the offensive line can figure the stuff out, keep him upright. I would say 8 or 9. But if he's not, you're looking at a repeat of last season. I would agree with you on 4. But
I don't care.
But I don't know. I keep hearing reports from camp that this is the most the best team chemistry they've had in years, and Matt Patricia's got it figured out. And I'm somewhere between the being skeptical and optimistic.
Yeah,
so I don't know. Obviously I've grown up on this team. I haven't been a fan as long as you, but
that's exactly what it is.
I'll go 8.
Oh God. Oh boy. You need about another decade of futility before you start to actually make sense. But that is a pipe dream. I promise you. 4 wins. I don't care if they have the best players in the league on that team. As soon as they put on the blue, they stink.
I know. And I will say, I think it's going in the right direction. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I think that the draft they had was great. I think getting rid of Darius Slay, bringing in a veteran like Desmond Trufant, to work with Jeff Okudah. I've heard great things about Okudah. I've heard great things about DeAndre Swift. It's really going to come down to injuries. I mean, if we're honest with ourselves, last season T.J. Hawkinson gets hurt, Matthew Stafford gets hurt, Kerryon Johnson. I mean, it wasn't even the Lions team at that point. I mean, if they were healthy, how many games did they win? Maybe 6 or 7. So yeah, still not great, but man, I mean, they added a lot of talent this year. And I agree with you. I mean, I realize it's the Lions. If it was any other team with this roster, they're probably winning 9 or 10 games. But who knows how Matt Patricia will mess it up, what goes wrong. But for me, I do think it's the most talent they've had in a while, both offensive and defensively. So I'm going to go 8 or 9 and hold me to that, I guess.
Right,
but
yeah,
again,
I will.
That's a disclaimer, though. That's a disclaimer. I mean, if Stafford gets hurt and you're like, oh, well, you said 8 or 9, no, BS. I'm not going out with that. I mean, if Stafford gets hurt, it's a different team.
Zach, when are we going to see you next on television, please? Tell everybody.
Tonight we debut. It's kind of funny that you asked that, because we decided without high school football, we were going to do a look back show, Blitz Rewind. We were going to look back on some of the top teams over the past 2 decades here in West Michigan. So we tonight are looking back at Grand Rapids Catholic Central 2016, doing like a 20-minute feature show. A documentary type of thing, looking back on their season. Well, we were actually out in Muskegon yesterday shooting another one of those for our third installment of that, which would air in 3 weeks. And then all of a sudden, surprise, high school football is back. So now we don't know if that show will air, the Muskegon one. But tonight, 11 o'clock during Fox 17 News.
All right, and do I... what is your Twitter handle again? I'm sorry, I don't have it off the top of my head.
Twitter handle is at Fox17Zach, and that's CACH.
Zach Carrick, Fox 17. I thank you for your time. Okay, buddy.
Of course, anytime. You know that.
All right, you're a good man. There you go, Zach Carrick. He's appreciate him checking in real quick. A lot of people are like, "Holy shit! I can't believe they're going to do this high school football thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know it, but I think that it's important that they." that the whole thing about the fans, and sure enough, as soon as the governor says, "All right, you can play football," well, we want to watch the game. Sorry, you can't. All right, I kind of interrupted my own story. No big deal about the Facebook thing. If you're just catching on and wondering what the hell I'm talking about, before I got Zach Herrick from Fox 17 on the show, I was telling you the story about how Facebook had done a survey that asked the question if pedophiles should be able to ask kids for sexual pictures. And it actually specifically said, in thinking about an ideal world where you could set Facebook's policies, how would you handle the following? A private message in which an adult asks a 14-year-old girl for sexual pictures. Well, most people would say, I would call the police, right? If someone says, "Hey man, this is what I want," or if a 14-year-old girl is asked for sexual pictures, how should that be handled? And you would think that everybody would have that as their go-to, but they didn't even include in that survey that as an option. I wouldn't have so much of a problem with the question if the first option was call the police and turn in the post to the authorities or whatever. But they did the old Penn State thing and didn't even have that as an option. Okay, so you remember how it was when you see a kid getting raped by Jerry Sandusky in the locker. What do? You call the cops, or you do the wrong thing and tell the coach who doesn't call the cops. Sexual contact with minors online, part of a grooming process in which adults seek to gain trust and lower inhibition, is often a precursor to sexual abuse. The possible responses Facebook offered to the question range from, "This content should not be allowed on Facebook," "No one should be able to see it," to another one that said, "This content should be allowed on Facebook and I would not mind seeing it." How would you like to be seeing that as an option? I wouldn't mind seeing the 14-year-old girl nude pictures. What type of asshole is going to click on? Well, a pedophile would. So that some pedophiles actually probably clicked on it. I think what you do as Facebook's trying to turn this around is, first of all, find out who clicked on it and go have them arrested. Another question asked, who should decide whether an adult man can ask for sexual pictures on Facebook? Who should decide? With options ranging from Facebook users decide the rules by voting and tell Facebook, to Facebook decides the rules on its own. Why is this even being brought up? Why are we even... Who felt the need to even go down this road? I mean, most of this would be assumed that you would never even allow this ever to happen in any way, shape, or form. Why is this even being surveyed? Jonathan Haynes, digital editor of the Guardian newspaper, tweeted, I'm like, wait, is making it secret the best Facebook can offer here? Not, calling the police? Guy Rosen, a vice president of product at Facebook, responded with, that was a mistake. We run surveys to understand how the community thinks about how we set policies, he wrote on Twitter. But this kind of activity is and will always be completely unacceptable on Facebook. Can you imagine this guy when he reads that somebody actually posted this survey? My God. We regularly work with authorities if identified. It shouldn't have been a part of this survey. I just spit all over the place. Yeah, who's the fucking asshole put that one out? Can you imagine the red ass when they're screaming that guy and firing him? It's hard to believe that Facebook could be so utterly tone deaf when it comes to this issue, said Diana Graber, founder of Cyber Civics and CyberWise, which teach digital literacy to kids and parents. The fact that Facebook would even pose this question theoretically is disgusting. It's true. Why would you ask that? I would be like, if I was doing a survey for my website, ericzaneshow.com, and I wrote, do you think I should or shouldn't post pictures of nude 5-year-old kids? Or what should you do if I post a picture of a nude 5-year-old? And the options are like it. It'd be like like it, love it, hate it, don't look at it. Those are my options. What the hell is wrong with these people? I will link this up if you want to get more information as I do all of the articles at ericzaneshow.com. Blue Frost IT is the managed IT service provider for the show. Reach out to them, 616-200-8550. They make things go for me on this show when I get in the weeds, and you can have that same type of expertise. If things don't, if they're not working out for you, if you try to boot it up and you got the spinning wheel of death or phishing scam or nothing's updated or you need a whole new setup, that's the thing. A lot of these small and medium-sized businesses, first of all, they're working from home. A lot of their employees are working from home, so you need to have that type of expertise at your beck and call for their home units. And if you're a business that's moving and you're going to have all new tech, they can take care of pricing all of that out for you as part of their service, all right? Blue Frost IT, they want to be your managed IT service provider. So if you already have a managed IT service provider, would you please, on behalf of the show, just call upon them to compare, save you time, save you money, 616-200-8550. TC Paintball. Don't forget, October 3rd. It's a Saturday. I think it's going to be very well attended. I haven't yet put out the invite, but I have been talking about it. October 3rd. Paintball War number 10. Oh, my God, we killed Kenny. Kenny and his 800 family members are coming up from Tennessee for this. We're going to shoot the shit out of every one of them. I don't know if the 8-year-old little girl is going to play. She might not, but I'm going to try to convince Kenny to letting her suit up with the armor. So, because, no, that's a bad idea. Never mind. Anyway, they're coming up. I got Bleeding Heart Brian. We're going to shoot him. I'm trying to get him to convince his wife to play. I've got people coming from all over the place for the Saturday event. 4 p.m. start time on Saturday, October 3rd. Send me an email, subject line paintball, to RSVP. Okay? Sexy Voice Andrea and White John Coffee Jason are going to be there. Oh, man. The whole crew, 30 plus. I'm counting on 30 plus as being part of this great event coming up October 3rd. TC Paintball, Eric Zane Show Podcast, Paintball War number 10. Oh, my God, we killed Kenny. All right, remember that story about that lady in Spokane, Washington years ago? She's running the NAACP, and then they find out she's a white chick. Well, she tried to, quote-unquote, look black. She would darken her skin. She made her hair to be very, very curly and dark, and she was actually, from what I understand, pretty damn good at her job. But she didn't want to be white. She wanted to be black, so she did everything she could to be black. But in fact, she was white as shit, and everybody got pissed off at her. Now, all right, okay, that's crazy, a little nutty. But, I thought we live in a day and an age now that basically you can say whatever you want, right? Can't you basically say, and I'm not being a smartass here, isn't it accepted that if you say you're, okay, let's say all you have to say is I identify as, and the term non-binary is used, or, I'm kind of wading in water that I'm not too familiar with, but as I understand it, you can say you are whatever you are, and no one is supposed to give a shit. Well, I don't know. This lady kind of fell on the sword here. Jessica Krug, K-R-U-G, Krug or Krug, really knowledgeable. This lady is a professor at George Washington University, an associate professor at George Washington University. As written extensively, according to the article, about Africa, Latin America, a word I don't even know, diaspora and identity, and has saying, hey, and saying as a black woman and as a Latina woman, she's both. She has equated struggles in the world to being this woman, okay? And then on a lark, she wrote in a publication that she's been lying her whole life and she is not really black or Latina. And I, for the life of me, can't figure out why this is a mystery. Because she's fucking white. Looking right at her. She looks like a hot white chick to me. She's one of these chicks who is always posting pictures of her tits from way up high. She does that high angle so you can't see the neck, the chin fat. And by the way, if you ever see somebody who's shooting all their pictures down like that, that means that they're really, okay, this is how it works. If you take a picture of yourself from that angle, you immediately look like you're 26 years old with huge titties and beautiful skin and 2% body fat, ripped. And then if you bring the camera down and you shoot it straight on, you turn to morbid obesity, bad skin. You look like you're 95 years old. Everybody hates you because you're so ugly and fat, and that's the end of it. I don't know why that is, but that seems to work. She's got all those pictures. She wrote extensively. Like I said, she's written extensively about Africa, Latin America, and blah, 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 blah. She comes out Thursday and says, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to announce that I am not black. Quote, to an escalating degree of my adult life, I have eschewed my living experience as a white Jew in suburban Kansas City under various assumed identities within a blackness that I had no right to claim. First, North African blackness, then U.S.-rooted blackness, then Caribbean-rooted Bronx blackness. I have never heard of any of these things. So all the people that were like fans of hers, all her students, they're like shutting her down. She's been being canceled. They hate her guts. And I'm like, why? What is going on here? But she is like being really hard on herself. She is apologizing for what she calls her continued appropriation of a black Caribbean identity, saying she was wrong, unethical, immoral, anti-black, and colonial, as she describes it. She says, I am not a culture vulture, she wrote, I am a culture leech. So she probably throughout all these years saying I'm a black lady, black Latina lady teaching all these things, and probably spoke out against people who do these types of things, appropriate a culture, which is a thing. And then, but she is absolutely the worst of it. So that has caused her people to turn on her. And I kind of get it. I understand why they would be shocked at that. But I mean, she looked white. She looked like a white lady. It isn't like she was hiding it in any way. Like the chick in Spokane. Like I said, she went to the spray tanner and said, "Give me Wesley Snipes, and I want my hair to be dark and curly." She's not doing any of that. She just looks like a white chick. And so there's no way you would, if you looked at her, you wouldn't say black chick, Latina chick. You wouldn't know. So she obviously has been saying, "Hey, I'm black." And okay, all right. So now all of her students are turning on her and saying, "All right, fuck this. We're sick and tired of her. Man, this is terrible. This is a moment. From the moment she came into the classroom, I was in awe of her," this person says. "And I'm just shocked. It was such a complete lie." Krug had told the class she was from the Bronx, an identity she was proud of. Garay, the students told CNN, she once even got into an argument with a student who tried to say rap was invented in Brooklyn. By the way, this class sounds crazy. Oh, you did it again. Did somebody put you up to this?
No, I was just coming to say goodbye.
You know how painful that is when you do that to me?
This camera's weird.
Well, you see, because you're looking at the screen. So, yeah.
Okay, bye.
Hold on a second. I want to see what these people are saying about that terrible moment that just happened. Tom Steele says, "Boo." He sees you coming. He wrote the Queen. Boo. Laura says, "I warned you." Josh says, "All hail the Queen." Tom says, "Scared him again." Oh, my God. That's funny. You're going to have to get a screen grab of that. Son of a bitch. That was bad. I hate people sneaking up on me, man. Oh. Okay, I'll see you around.
Love you.
Love you too.
By the way, Benny puked on our bed.
Benny puked on the bed.
Yeah, so I had to change the which cover?
The
mattress cover. It's in the wash.
Yeah.
So you have to put that back on and your sheets before you go to bed.
The hell happened to him?
I don't know. It's like yellow bile.
Yeah.
With chunks.
Yeah. Ow! 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 Ow!
Sore?
God. Yes, I just talked to them about how sore I am. Son of a bitch. God.
On your chest?
Yeah. Don't, honey. Please, seriously, come on.
Come on. This will toughen you up.
Go away. Leave me alone.
Bye, puppy.
Oh, hey, come back here real quick.
I gotta go.
I know. Somebody asked, "Is there any news on No Filter Kevin? Has he dropped any F-bombs?" Yeah, I'm asking you.
Not
Has he said
yet.
anything crazy today? Has he dropped any MFs or
it's only
cocksuckers or?
It's only a matter of time.
So it's not out of the question. Say, "Hey, Kenny, you want some eggs?" "Yeah, I'll take some of those cocksucker motherfuckers." "Yeah, give me some cocksucking eggs,
I love
motherfucking
those
shit."
son of bitches.
I love them sons of bitches, motherfucker. Hey, Kevy, O'Neill loves you. I love that motherfucker. I love that fucking dog.
He's
that.
fucking awesome.
I love that fucking awesome dog. Fucking shit, fucking cock, fuck, shit, fuck, cock. Okay, bye.
Love you.
See you, love you. It's terrible. Damn it. All right. Okay, I'm done with the story about the chick who thinks she's white. Anyway, she's in, thought she was black. Did you hear that? Sounds like I just had a stroke again. Hold on. The university is investigating because this lady's like, I'm really a white chick. Oh my God, I'm really a Jewish chick from Kansas City. I'm not a black chick. I'm not Latina. Why do you feel the need to do that? This is mental illness. Jessica Krug, for all her life, she said, I'm a black Latina. She's a white Jew from Kansas City, but she's very well versed and educated. Just be who you are. You can be a sweet soul to every person that you touch and just be who you are. Why do you have to lie to the world and say you're a black chick? I don't understand. It's some type of mental illness, right? It's got to be. If you can't be comfortable with who you are, school is looking into it. People speaking out on Twitter. When Jessica Krug gets her book deal and is on the talk show circuit, remember this tweet. White women continually harm our communities and are rewarded for their efforts. She wrote that whole article and included literally zero plans to repair the harm she caused. So what was the purpose of the article? Because she came out in an article. Attention and access, just like her pretending to a black woman was. She referred to her ancestors in one piece. Krug received her PhD in 2012 from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. According to her staff page on George Washington University's website, she's written extensively for Essence magazine, most notably on August 27th for a piece titled On Puerto Rico, Blackness and Being When Nations Aren't Enough. That piece has since been deleted from the Essence website. The introduction to her 2018 book called Fugitive Modernities, Politics and Identity Outside the State in Kisama, Angola, and the Americas, circa 1954 to present. Sounds like a real fucking page turner. That traces the histories of communities in Angola, begins with references to those who came before her, her grandparents, and her ancestors. It's now being held up as one way Krug lied about her identity. She wrote, all a lie, my grandparents who gave me the best parts of themselves, music and movement and storytelling, the inclination to ask and soul to listen, my ancestors, unknown, unnamed, who bled life into a future they had no reason to believe could or should exist. My brother, the fastest, the smartest, the most charming of us all, those whose names I cannot say for their own safety, whether in my barrio in Angola or in Brazil, she wrote. She's a white Jew from KC. Oh, my God. This is terrible. There's no question. I wonder why she came out. Why did she have this big epiphany? What happened to her? Or was she about to be outed? Maybe that's the case, and she got out in front of it. That stunt that Jerry Falwell Jr. tried to do. So who knows? I'm guessing if we were to track this down, we would find out that somebody was about to expose her as some dumb white bitch from Kansas City. Well, fuck her. Serves her right. Yes, she's very knowledgeable. If you had just stuck with what you brought to the party in the first place, you probably could have been white and super successful because you have knowledge and empathy towards people. That's all you need. You don't need to act like a black lady or a Latina, you stupid idiot. Serves you right for getting what you get. All right. One more thing. I've got a public service announcement, and I can't wait to tell you about it. It is something you may not know about. Raise your hand if you think that hand sanitizer is not flammable. No hands go up. You know why? Because everybody knows that. Everybody knows that hand sanitizer is flammable. So what do? What do you not want to put by hand sanitizer since it's flammable? Aha! Fire! Don't put fire near hand sanitizer. Makes sense, right? I think everybody knows that. Even a little child would know that. Before that, though, A&E Heating and Cooling. And I want you to know that as Joe Martinez is giving away a full-on high-efficiency furnace install to someone in need, I have made it so that you can nominate yourself because it makes sense. I want it done that way, and I want you to let me know why you need this. And the goal is for someone who really needs it to be able to take advantage of this free install. And I swear to God, in a conversation I had with Joe Martinez, I go, Joe, so what do you think? And he goes, yeah, I want to do this. He actually said, I've been praying about this, and this is what I want to do. I go, well, this is absolutely saint-like. I'm so happy to be part of it. So this couldn't be more awesome. It's 0 strings attached. All you have to do is send me an email with the subject line furnace or Joe Martinez or A&E Heating and Cooling or any combination of that. And just tell me why you need a new furnace. Now, I'm getting a lot of stories from people who are down on their luck, who have maybe lost their jobs and shit's piling up on them, and they need a win. They need a win. Joe is going to give you that win, okay? And this is not me. I'm just the messenger. I'm lucky to be able to be a part of it. But you are going to send this to me via email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. And then tell me what's up, man or woman. Tell me what's going on. Be as detailed as possible, okay? Give me the full story. I'm going to read, and members of my family are going to read all of these stories, and then I'm going to say, okay, we've all read the stories. Which one stands out, your top 3? And from there, we then kind of have to focus on it. So I know that's a very, very difficult thing to do, but somebody is going to be set up with a brand new furnace, high efficiency furnace installed for free from Joe Martinez, and I think he's thinking about doing it again, but that will be further down the road. So the guy is just awesome. He is giving back because his business has really blossomed in the last year and a half, and he is so thankful for that. So this is happening. Reach out to me, Eric@ericzaneshow.com. Thank you to Joe Martinez from A&E Heating and Cooling. That's A and then an ampersand E Heating and Cooling. Click on his link on my website. It'll take you right to his page. Or call him at 616-516-8579. Coupon code. Use this.
Tu madre es una puta.
And it will save you 0%. Thank you, Joe Martinez. Terrytown RV, if you're shopping for an RV, they want you to call upon them. TerrytownRV.com. Doesn't matter where you are. Some people travel from really far away to get an RV from Terrytown RV. That's why they're the biggest in the state of Michigan. Dare I say the multi-state area. I guess that would be Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin area. The biggest. Okay, if you're on Division between 68th and 76th Street and you see a place selling RVs, more than likely it's a Terrytown RV facility. It's huge. They've got an indoor showroom, amazing online presence. They even have it where you see, let's say, a travel trailer you want. Excuse me. You just call up and say, yeah, I want to check it out. And, if you're worried about COVID-19, you can go check it out on your own. You don't need to have anybody there. You can take care of everything online or over the phone. TerrytownRV.com. Please mention my show when you head over there. Last but certainly not least, it makes a great gift if you call upon A&D Cleaning. That is Denny Porter, who likes an oily lane when he's bowling, I'm understanding. His better half, Amy, is 51% of the business. She's the eye candy. She does the work. She makes the money. Denny's just kind of like along for the ride. Call upon A&D Cleaning at 616-550-3644 for A&D Cleaning. They also sponsor my dog Daisy, who is not in here. They originally sponsored Benny, but Benny's such a neurotic dog and won't stay in here. I had to change the sponsorship to the dog Daisy. So, you put hand sanitizer on your hands. There's still hand sanitizer on the bottle. There's still hand sanitizer on your hands. You strike a match to go light your "this smells like my vagina" Gwyneth Paltrow candle, and voila, you're on fire. Everything blows up. What is in the bottle, the hand sanitizer, that is now all over your face like a goopy hand sanitizer bukkake, which has now ignited, and you are 100% on fire. Who the hell doesn't know this? Everybody knows that hand sanitizer is flammable.
And tonight, a mom from Round Rock, that's near Austin, is
Texas,
warning others after she says a bottle of hand sanitizer exploded. She's recovering in the ICU after she says her hand sanitizer caught fire while she was trying to light a candle, leaving her with severe burns. David Gonzalez has more on what happened, and we want to warn you, some of the images you're about to see may be too graphic for some.
Kate Wise considers herself blessed to be alive. Kate says on Sunday she had put on hand sanitizer that she keeps around to protect herself and 3 daughters from coronavirus.
Yeah, we don't need to know the reason why you put on hand sanitizer. Get to it.
Before her life changed forever.
It can be something as small as lighting a candle. Because the hand sanitizer, it just lit my whole, everywhere I had hand sanitizer on my hand.
Can you believe they're actually breaking it down? They're actually she's laying in the ICU. It was crazy. I had hand sanitizer on my hands, and it could just be a little bit. I mean, it's made with flammable materials, but who would have fucking known that if you lit a candle, it could light the fumes? I mean, who in the right mind would have thought that, huh?
Before her life changed forever.
It can be something as small as lighting a candle. Because the hand sanitizer, it just lit my whole, everywhere I had hand sanitizer on my hand, it just lit my whole hand with fire.
Kate says the flames made contact with the off-brand sanitizer bottle, and it exploded.
And it obviously went all over my face, and in like a matter of 5 seconds, my whole body was just consumed in flames.
She says while her 2 youngest daughters ran to neighbors to get help, she managed to get her burning clothes off of her and pulled her disabled daughter and pets out of the house. Round Rock Fire Department is investigating the cause of the fire, but Kate's friend Catherine in Houston warns others about buying off-brand products.
We're all buying what's easily available. We look to stores we trust like Amazon to purchase the products that we need to protect ourselves and our families.
Catherine has launched a GoFundMe to help Kate with medical expenses. Kate hopes by raising awareness, others will stay out of harm's way.
And it's something that you never want your kids to see, like you just being up in flames. So I think that part kind of killed me just because it's something I never wanted them to have to go through.
No, dummy, the fire almost killed you.
David Gonzalez, KHOU 11 News.
God, this is just terrible. Holy shit. I can't believe that was even a thing. Come on. Make sure you, other things you shouldn't do. Smoke while pumping gas. Don't pour gasoline onto a fire. Light your vagina candle after you have hand sanitizer. Don't light the hand sanitizer on fire. Hey, congrats to Stu McAllister for being such an awesome dude. He ended up giving away over $1,600 to people who just needed a little boost. It's hard to explain, but if you check out Stu McAllister's podcast, the LMNO podcast, he'll cover it at length on his show. Well done. All right, I want to thank you for being part of this podcast and continued support. Be heading over to Patreon, do more podcasts a little later on, just a little bit. And don't forget, we got Ben Glaze tonight in the studio, 7 p.m. Now, that will be an on-time start time. I promise you we'll start on time. 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here. The Eric Zane Show podcast is done for today. See you, folks. Bye-bye.